Hello, happy Wednesday, everybody. Late start again. Um, with the changing of weather, I think I've mentioned this before. This is when my allergies flare. Is usually the transition from winter to spring, and then from it's autumn, like transitioning into autumn or changing out of autumn, one of the two, because it's a wonky time, right? But Yeah, Archie has been keeping me in bed lately. I mean, he's doing his job. He is technically my ESA. So he's like, no, you don't feel good. Go back to bed. Um, but no, we got stuff to do. We got stuff to do. So first of all, I want to congratulate everybody who was participating in Flash Fiction February. I did peek in on some of the stuff around my stuff I was trying to do. Unfortunately, I do not have the brain capacity to write something that fast. I don't have that turnaround time with my burnout. Once upon a time I could, but no, I'm still recovering from burnout that I have sustained from years of working jobs that did not either nurture my brain or they drained my brain and body. Uh, so yeah, I'm still recovering. But that's burnout. It takes a while to bounce back. But I did want to check in with you guys because it's Wednesday. We got some stuff coming down the pipeline. February is almost over. I hope it was a good month for most of you. All of you, I would like to say, but I do know that that was not the case. Um, but no, for March though, we got stuff happening. Now, I know I've mentioned that Palmetto Publishing has Nature Calls Summer. One thing I did want to address that I have seen in some comments in places that I've been is that people say they don't trust hybrid or vanity publishing because you should never have to pay to publish your book. Well, I would argue that you're paying to publish your book regardless. Even if you're not paying someone to do something, you're paying a subscription of some sort to make your stuff, or you're paying to list your book somewhere. So you're gonna pay one way or another, and if you don't, then I mean, that usually everything that's 1,000% free has the least exposure. So you're paying one way or another. And I feel like that's a disservice to newer authors who are trying to navigate this new realm of publishing, especially people who are trying to go traditional because they want to just see if it'll work out. Um, Now, traditional publishing has, I think, fallen from grace because they've started standardizing so that they can put out more books faster. Also, they cheat the game. And that's one of the reasons why I don't want to be traditionally published is because they make you sterilize your stuff to where you fit their formulas. And then once you do, you just get lopped in with a bunch of other mid stuff right now. A lot of books that are doing really well either had really good public marketing campaigns. They championed to make sure that they went with a company that didn't make them sterilize their stuff, or they got discovered independently and then didn't change it because they knew that would change the target audience. So, um, my what I the reason I'm bringing this up is I am happy to be hybridly published with Palmetto Publishing. Um, Not only did they get a 3B award from the Better Business Bureau for how they actually treat their customers, yes, you are paying for services up front. However, if I was independently going completely on my own, I would still have to pay for an editor because my editing skills are trash. I write so much stuff in my brain doesn't edit well. Um, yes, that's their primary thing is that they have like almost every package I believe has to be edited. At least that's how it used to be. They may have changed that now. But they do follow the Chicago writing guide. So yeah, they're professional editors. And then you have, and it's a la carte. If you want your book to look as good as possible, They're gonna make it look as good as you want it to be. If you want to look just like a traditional book, they'll get you there. If you want to look unique, they'll get you there. I'm personally getting illustrated covers because I wanted Nature Calls, as you see back there, to have illustrations. I wanted it to feel whimsical. I wanted it to feel like a fairy tale. And once I get the omnibus, then that might change. But yeah, I wanted to put that forward because if I was to get an artist to do an illustrated cover, I'd be paying the artist. They just get a bunch of people who do these services in one house, and they lump it all together in a package. And then because of the amount of people that they take care of, these people have consistent work. You know how hard it is to just oh, I just want to do this and market yourself. But these people are being employed to do a service that sometimes is difficult to do in the independent spheres. I actually tried to do it with an editor for Eclipse because it has, oh my goodness, it's over 100, it's 6 digits worth, 6 digits worth of words. That's a lot of money, even at an independent rate. So, yeah, just trying to do it with that editor, her health was not great because she was trying to do her own books. She had other clients, and then eventually she had a stroke. And then I never got to finish moving forward with Eclipse, which might have been a sign from the universe because maybe that wasn't the direction I was supposed to go in because I'm finding things that I was like, oh, wait a minute. Speaking of which, Eclipse is the current title we're going through for Hearth of a Writer podcast, which is my paid author-read audiobook experience. If you're interested, I highly recommend you subscribe to go over and listen. We're going to be having episode 8 this week. That means chapter 8. Yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing to read Eclipse. That's my very first manuscript. Came up with freshman year, just sitting in a sewing machine, just before the world got super crazy. It got super crazy. And yeah, its birthday actually is, I believe, either this month or next month when I first came up with it. Because it was late winter, early spring. Yeah, I loved Portal Fantasy, and I wanted to see if I could write my own. And, God, 22 years later. Hi, Sam! My primordial realm of the Triad Saga. Yeah, I'm proud of Eclipse. It is a well fleshed out world. It's a very treasured world of the Imaginings universe. Jay is very proud of it. He even mentions it on the Ramblings of a Demiurge podcast, if you guys want to check out that episode. But yeah, speaking of ramblings, tomorrow we will have a special episode of Ramblings of a Demiurge. We are bringing back author roasts. Now, I've mentioned this before. It's a bit of a sampler because normally Mrs. Winchester plays my counter peanut gallery, where she's pitching in when I'm getting roasted and she counter roasts. Try and make me feel better. Or maybe just to make the pot worse, who knows. But she actually is in the seat of honor, roasting as I'm reading from To Cross the Divine, A Chance Encounter, Chapter 1, Dead and Back Again. That's one of my Inkit titles. It was my first attempt at writing romance. And I learned a lot. We'll put it that way. So yeah, I hope you tune in to Ramblings of a Demiurge tomorrow. I'm dropping it I try to drop my stuff noon Eastern Standard Time. Just because I feel like that's a neat, like a mid ground. You can either be getting into it in the morning when you get up, or it's in your afternoon if you're on this side of the world, versus the other side. You could be on the flip side. You know, it feels like a nice niche. Yeah. And then, last but not least, I do want to mention that while I have been doing the Dodeca shorts for my Tuesday fiction pieces, this coming Tuesday, we are switching up gears. We will be going into a new realm for short stories. because Nature Calls Spring is coming, or Nature Calls Summer is coming out. Uh, Ideally in April. That is my goal. Um, I'm going to be switching up to a new series of short stories called Nature Calls Mid Seasons. The mid seasons are going to be stories that happen in between the books, before the books. Nothing will be after the books just yet because winter isn't done. Um, but yeah, I when I was writing Nature Calls, there were so many stories that I couldn't put into the books because it would have really weighed down the plot. But there's lots of shenanigans. This when I was at the Art Institute, I was literally trying to come up with a cartoon series. So there are whole little side stories and side quests and development arcs that didn't get to get added because they didn't fit the time and pacing of the books. So mid seasons is going to fill that hole. Now I will say that I have a unique way of separating them because I will be mentioning this story happens between summer and or spring and summer, or this happens between summer and autumn. There's a way that you'll see that. Those of you who are familiar with the Wheel of the Year, you guys will be at an interesting kick out of this one because how could I not show my pagan roots? Um, but we're actually going to be kicking off with something because I've been doing prequel lore with Dodeca Shorts, right? So I'm going to give you some prequel lore for Nature Calls with Origins. So we're going to be kicking off a lot of. I need a lot of hype to help me ramp up to get Nature Calls Summer launch as best as possible. As soon as I have more information, subscribers will be able to see posts coming through. I'll post some free subscriber. You don't have to be a paid one to get information, but I will be sharing for my subscribers in the chats updates on what's going on. And hopefully you guys will have some opportunities at getting some sneak peeks. And if you are interested in doing an arc read, as again, summer is a sequel, so if you want to get caught up, Nature Calls Spring is over on feywaldapothecary.com/shop. All of the books from there are signed, so if you're interested, you can go over there and buy one and then be caught up by the time summer drops. Also, Palmetto is also my distributor. So that's another reason why I really love working with them. I have a project manager, a consultant that I work with. He's familiar with my work. He was actually really excited when I called him and left him a message about, hey, I'm ready to do the sequel to Spring. And he was like, oh, we're moving forward. Awesome. Because I've always had a backer. I would love to have a crowd-funded book one day, but for now, I've been struggling to get enough momentum for people to be willing to help me crowdfund a book. But no, fortunately, I did have backing for my third book as much as the other two. Um, so we'll see. My goal, though, once summer drops this year in April, is I would love for June of 2027 to be when autumn drops. So if we can keep our momentum going, guys, and maybe we'll head over to coffee and start the process to get autumn published. It'd be great if we could keep that ball rolling, right? But I have run long already. Like I said, I've got a lot coming down the pipeline, especially some collaborative work that I'm looking forward to doing in March. I'm going to start fleshing that out with some people. Mrs. Winchester might be actually joining the Imaginings universe for some content. Yeah, lots of fun stuff. I'm excited. This is what I wanted. This is what I want to do, guys. I really just want to make stories. It's why Jay is a demiurge. He creates worlds to make stories, no matter what they look like, right? But until next time, though, be kind to yourself and others as we're all traversing the same path in life. We're all in different vehicles. Some of us are in pristine, brand new cars. Others of us, we've got some old clunkers that are in dire need of maintenance, but we're making do. So remember, we're all driving the same direction, though. So be patient with how yours is going. You might be able to appreciate some things that people are zooming past. And of course, remember we reap what we sow, so if you plant kindness, compassion, and empathy, it will grow into some fruits to nourish others. And as always, happy reading and listening adventures.